Ready? Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. We're here at it's just our home. It's Groovy Cinema Pub reviewing more films for you. I'm Jimmy Martin with Slug Magazine.
I'm Jeff Weiss from MSN Entertainment, and I have nowhere else to be. You can find Big Movie Mouth Off on Xfinity, Channel 1 or Channel 6, on Utah On Demand, Salt Lake Alternative. There's a sleeve that says Big Movie Mouth Off. A lot of reviews, new and old, things that actually are on DVD, Blu-ray, and on demand now, as well as things that are currently in theaters, such as...
Well, it's Neil Blomkamp's next feature film. If you remember Neil Blomkamp a few years ago, he did a film called District 9. This is now his new project called Elysium. A little bit more star power in this one. You've got Matt Damon starring as, he's an ex-con who lives in the 21st century. The world has basically become, the entire planet has become a third world. Third world, how about that? There you go, third world planet. Essentially uninhabitable, overpopulated, hunger everywhere. And so, while
no medical treatment.
None. And if there is, you don't want it. So, basically, that's the surface of the world. Well, let's just call them the 1%.
Yes.
Yeah, the 1% has created a orbiting space station called Elysium. And that's where they've gone to live and just left everyone else behind. They have basically no crime, no sickness, and there's one point where someone says you can pretty much live forever. And that's pretty much what Elysium is. And so with the way things are on planet Earth's surface, well, everybody wants to go up to Elysium.
In particular, our hero
Matt Damon needs to get to Elysium because in a work-related accident, he gets radiation poisoning and has about 5 days to live before he dies. And so a crime boss finds out of his situation and basically puts Matt Damon on a mission to not only cure himself, but cure the entire planet and save everyone who is suffering down on Earth's surface.
Cybernetic implants.
Yeah, right? So yeah, he gets an exoskeleton drilled into his bones and basically makes him superhuman, and that's how he can fight his way up to Elysium, who is also protected by Jodie Foster, who's kind of like their security, the head of their security council, and then she uses the services of a discharged military officer,
Charlotte Copley.
Charlotte Copley. That's the hardest name to say.
You might remember him from District 9 as well as the A-Team.
That's the A-Team too.
Yes.
And that's kind of your story. That's what we're going for.
Welcome.
Ah, hello, madam.
I need to get to Elysium.
Whoever has this has the power to override their whole system.
Hey, bring down the bone saw!
This ain't gonna kill me. You can save everyone.
We're gonna break into the most heavily guarded place in the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Don't think of this as RoboCop as much as RoboCon.
RoboCon. There you go.
Which I say that, and yes, the film at one point threatens to turn into RoboCop 2. Spoiler alert. And
Slightly.
It's interesting how Neil Blomkamp has, after 2 films, a certain aesthetic. He loves the slums. Everything looks
Loves
like
the
it
slums.
comes from either South Africa
Yep.
or Rio de Janeiro's favelas.
I'd heard that they actually filmed in the second largest landfill on the planet. So that's kind of environment you're getting
It's sort of a sleaze aesthetic, and I don't mean to make it sound like it's lowbrow in that regard, because this film actually has some really big ambitions to talk about. Immigration, healthcare,
Yep.
the haves and have-nots. And it's interesting when it's grounded on poor Earth. I was much more into this film than I was when it was up on Elysium with its ring world, as I would like to call it, in honor of the film that it references, or the book it references, Ringworld by Larry Niven.
Yeah.
I love Neil Blomkamp for his ambition. I wish he had another screenwriter with him because to a point I find his didactics about this subject matter punishingly heavy-handed.
I will give you that, but maybe it's just the way he delivers it.
Right.
That I don't mind the heavy-handedness. I mean, he does. You get beaten over the head.
I mean,
numerous times.
if you thought District 9 was not subtle, Elysium's on a completely different level. It makes no bones about what it's trying to say.
And see, well, that's what with District 9, it was all about the apartheid,
Right.
And that's where maybe I kind of went in knowing that this is what he's got up his sleeve, and so I'm ready for that heavy-handedness, and I appreciate the heavy-handedness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are subject matters that do need to be talked about
Absolutely.
in today's society, and he makes it so somebody who doesn't want to sit there and watch a CNN debate about it can sit here and watch this and go, well, that's kind of messed up. And you're like, yeah, that's what we're talking about right now.
And at the same time, people are getting shot and blown up too. So
I'm glad you mentioned that one.
So I'm sort of torn
Yeah.
because again, I don't want to come down on a filmmaker who goes to these lengths to tell a story, but he really needs to get a collaborator because both of his films have third act problems. This one much more than the other. And Jodie Foster.
Okay, that's.
Jodie Foster.
I can already tell the way this is going. I like this movie a lot more than you.
Yeah.
I can tell that right now. But this is the worst performance I've seen
Of
Jodie
her
Foster
career- of her career.
give. Yeah.
Of her career.
She's trying. I mean, first of all, she's acting like she doesn't really care that much. She's not completely phoning it in.
Right.
But she's got the phone in her pocket. And
Well, and I think part of it is all the people on Elysium, they're so privileged, they're sort of walking robots because we get that through another character who's played by Bill Fichtner in the film, who runs with that role.
Yeah.
He's committed to that. Jodie Foster, on the other hand, can't quite decide if she's a robotic character or if she's an ice queen doing a variety of bad accents, none of which I can identify.
I don't know what accent she's doing. I don't know if she's like, I did some research, and in the future, like, this accent and this accent and this accent will be merged and it'll become one accent. I'm like, I don't care what it is. It's disturbing.
It's annoying,
and it's really, really annoying, and it's distracting as all hell from the screen, from the story. Every time she's on screen, I'm like, please go away. Please go away.
Yes.
You're bugging me.
Absolutely.
Because Jodie Foster's a great actress.
I
And you're
know.
like, what are you doing? So that one I'll agree with you. But
Melissa Leo could have played that role.
a lot of people could have played that role.
But she could have, and she could have run with that role.
Jodie Foster could have played that role if she just didn't do what she did. I don't know who gave her that direction, or if Neil Blomkamp, because he's still kind of a little wet behind the ears.
Right.
Do you not tell Jodie Foster not to do that?
Well, she is a filmmaker, so apparently she probably knows better than Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah, but I will say this, and you said it too, because the action in this film I thought was fantastic.
Right.
And no one, at least working right now, knows how to turn an actor into nothing but a chunk of meat. And Neil Blomkamp knows how to do that, because the way bodies explode in this film blew my mind.
Do you know who he reminds me in that regard? He reminds me of John Carpenter as well as RoboCop guy.
Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, Paul Verhoeven, but with Stanley Kubrick-like pretensions. And I don't say that in a bad way.
Yeah.
But that's who he reminds.
You're just making a stew.
Yeah, a gumbo, if you will. And I don't want to come down on him because I want him to keep working and keep being ambitious. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get there. 2 3/4 stars from me.
Yeah, I'm definitely ahead of you in by a full one on that one. Not quite full, but I love what this guy does. And like I said before, I think he brings subject matter to the screen in a unique way that you've never seen before, and does bring a message, no matter how heavy-handed it is.
Right.
That stuff that needs to be talked about. And then he blows the shit out of the other actors, so that's kind of fun too.
Absolutely. He knows how to blow up an actor real good.
Oh, just in the meat. So I give it 3.5 stars. I don't think it's as good as District 9, because I thought District 9 was almost damn near perfect. But I think Elysium's a great follow-up, and I am excited to see what he's going to do next.
Absolutely. And by the way, this film is opening in August. For something this heady to be opening in August,
Yeah.
go see it.
Go check it out. So there you go, Elysium. Check it out. I think one way or the other, you'll at least get to see an actor explode. That's going to do it for this episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. We will catch you here again at Ruby Cinema Pub, reviewing more movies. Summer's almost over, so go check them out while you still got the time before it gets cold.
Yes.
There you go. See you guys next time.